Good morning. It's Monday morning, and we're reading from Romans 8:31 through 34. What then shall we say to these things? If God is for us, who can be against us? He who did not spare his own son, but gave him up for us all, how will he not also with him graciously give us all things? Who shall bring any charge against God's elect? It is God who justifies. Who is to condemn? Christ Jesus is the one who died, more than that, who was raised, who is at the right hand of God, who indeed interceding for us. So Paul is winding up this long argument that he's made, and he says, if God is for us, then who's against us? Who can withstand God? Nobody. That's, the assumed answer. If God is the one who is working for us and giving us gifts, then who's going to condemn us? Nobody. Christ is the only one who could condemn us, and he actually is praying for us, interceding for us, and he's on our side. Now the church history is littered with people who claim that God is on our side. God is a Democrat. God is a Republican. God is a communist. God is a monarchist. Pick your political philosophy, and somebody has claimed that God is right there with you. That wonderful theologian Bob Dylan wrote a good song called "If God Is on Our Side," and sort of went through history and all these things that have happened, but God was on our side. So, that's why it doesn't matter how many people were killed, because God's on our side. And that's not the way to take this passage. And if that's the way you're thinking, stop and pray. God is not a Republican. God is not a Marxist. God is God. And God rules over the universe and doesn't have a particular political philosophy. And in fact, we see that God rules through weakness. Jesus becomes vulnerable and weak and dies. And that is how God enacts his rule. So everything that God does is upside down and surprising. And keep that in mind. So who is to condemn us? Nobody. Because Christ has brought us into his household and adopted us. So there's nobody left. There's nobody outside of Christ who could legitimately condemn us. So we're free. That's good news. That's a good thing. That's all good. He's going to go on, and I purposely split this up over a few days so that we can just stretch it out and enjoy it. And he's going to go on to say that nothing in the cosmos could ever separate us from God's love, which is also good news. And so we should just hang on to that and appreciate and enjoy the fellowship and the love that we have with God. We'll leave it there today and pick it up again in the morning. See you then.